And we are back, ladies and gents, as we are back on the podcast here for AEW Dynamite review for July 12th, 2023 edition. I'm your host, Joe True in Love, and hope everyone's having a good week. It's crazy now, flying by in July, but alas, we are a month and a half away, seemingly, from Allin, which crazy, but takes place at the end of next month in London. And the current, last time I checked, it was 75,000 as reported for how many tickets sold for Allin. I mean, I could probably pull it up really quick, but before that, we are also a week away from Blood and Guts, the third annual Blood and Guts. And looks to be a hell of a field rounding out for AEW's version of War Games. But so I think when Forbidden Door closed or ended, we all had our doubts, certainly, of okay, Omega, he might be hurt or might be out for a bit after that grueling battle with Will Ospreay. Luckily, he's okay. Obviously, in that match last week versus Utah, he did not wrestle last night. None of the Elite wrestled last night, which was, they didn't need to. Same with BCC. But yeah, so anyways, like I said, Omega looked to be in rough shape after that match with Ospreay, but luckily he's healthy now, or at least closer to 100%. But Bryan Danielson, I mean, it was initially thought that he would be the fifth man in this process for the BCC, and unfortunately, he broke his forearm again in the match, the main event of Forbidden Door, against Kota. So he obviously can't make next week, but hopefully he's good for Allin next month. Depends on severity. But nonetheless, it looked like it was going to be 4-4. With perhaps Eddie Kingston replacing Kenny. Instead, they announced 5-on-5. And okay, A. Kingston gonna be in the G1 for New Japan, so he's out. Luckily, Kenny Omega, as I mentioned, he's going to be in the match. And it was presumptive that Ibushi would be the fifth man in their side, and thus it is true, as we found out on Wednesday. But of course, who would be the fifth guy to replace Bryan Danielson for the BCC? Turns out it was a bastard, and which is PAC. PAC. Remember Death Triangle? He last time we saw him was January when he broke his orbital in that best of 7 series versus the Elite for the Trios Championships. That, was a joy, was a wonder. No matter what can you say, it was a phenomenal 7-match series. But alas, he obviously took some time off to recuperate, but that was 6 months ago. I mean, nonetheless, he's back. He obviously has history with the Elite, so there's a bit of story to him being the fifth man. So, nonetheless, it's just great to see PAC back on television. I mean, I think we can all agree. But yeah, PAC and Ibushi. Kenny Omega's former tag team partner. The Golden Elite reunited for at least one more night, as Ibushi sides with Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman. So it's gonna be fun in Boston on Wednesday. But yeah, we got that. We got more hindsight in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Cup for the women's side, which I'll get into that match. We got more build up for the Don Callis Chris Jericho situation. MJF and Adam Cole, an entertaining duo. I mean, what more can you say? The Blind Unlimited Tournament, we got some good stuff on Wednesday Dynamite. I will say, though, that Canada, it's about time to get out of Canada, I think, for AEW. I mean, it was a warm welcome, but now it seems like they can get out of Canada and take a break for a bit. Obviously, in a week from Saturday, Saturday we'll have the finals for the women, and a week from Saturday we'll have the finals of the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament, and we'll have that. We'll have both Owen Hart Cup Tournament finals on Saturday, as we'll see with the women but we obviously got Ricky Starks and CM Punk. But yeah, should be fine. Um, but yeah, let's get into review and stuff and not waste too much time. But alas, thank you for joining me, all guys and gals. You know, Same process. Like, subscribe. Find all videos on the channel. Guys can find the subscription box. All videos on the channel. We know the gist. We know the gist by now. So yeah. But last we start off with Chris Jericho versus Kommander. This was a definitely mixed reviews going in this match because, again, AEW has such a loyal roster. No disrespect to Kommander, but we can still say that many guys and gals on the roster have trouble finding tea time. But alas, Kommander, he had nice bit of showing in this match versus Chris Jericho, which obviously you can applaud that. So, but yeah, this is a different match. Jericho has been feeling mixed, obviously, the last couple of weeks. But he was really healing up in this match against Kommander, flip off the crowd. He obviously didn't like what they were going with. So it's interesting, some of the spots in this match because of what went down as of yesterday, which I'll get into. So Kommander, first of all, he was dumped to the outside by Jericho and then backdrop on the apron. Kommander had a little bit of a comeback, but followed with a clothesline by Jericho. So, nice spot here. So, Kommander was on the top rope. Jericho followed him, but got shoved off. And then Kommander with a beautiful tightrope shooting star press off the top rope on the Jericho for a nice looking near fall. Then, obviously, Jericho was on one side of the ring. Kommander was on the other. Kommander tight-roped one of the ropes all the way to the other side. Jumped onto a dive. Jericho on the outside. Now this, I think, was mistiming. So Kommander went for springboard, Phoenix Splash, but didn't land all of it. This, what I think should have been the finish of the match. Certainly, Jericho caught Kommander in midair for a midair codebreaker, only for a near fall. It looked like Kommander was going for a sent on Hurricanrana, it looked to be. But Jericho caught him, locked in the Lion Tamer, and Kommander had no choice but to tap out. So there we go. And Jericho gets the victory. Afterwards, we get a nice amount of so-so heat as Don Callis makes his way towards the ring. He talked about the ring from their segment last week and how people are buzzing over them possibly teaming up, and Jericho being a part of Callis' family. And he brought up their history. He brought up interesting. So he talked about how when they first were in a faction in the 90s with Bad News Allin, and now Jericho still had all his hair, although he is, besides his hairline moving back, he still has his nice looking hair and Callis' ball. So, but Callis showed a short clip of Jericho and Callis and Bad News Allin from their early days as a faction and reminiscing over memories. Then they spoke about how they made a promise to Bad News Allin, the late great Bad News Allin, that they would stay together, and unfortunately they went on their separate ways and they did not stay together. But, you know, kind of tugging at Jericho's heartstrings, you know, and he again reminisced the offer to Jericho about joining his family, and Jericho was conflicted, looking up above, and Callis walked off. And this was not the last we saw of Jericho on Wednesday, as they had a segment with Jake Hager. But yeah, it could be beneficial for Jericho and Callis. Be something new we haven't seen really in AEW. I mean, Callis, they don't need each other, but it would be a fresh thing in AEW, I'd say, for certain. And, you know, Jericho's mentioned this last week, and many others brought to the point of reference that, you know, the JS, look, I enjoy them, you know, love Menard, love Parker as a duo. They're widely entertained. Hager as a heavy, as a bodybuilder, or as a bodyguard, you know, that's where he's most suited. You know, Guevara and Dan Garcia in this final limited tournament are looking to prove themselves yet again. And, you know, it's a bit of an odd ways to go because, I mean, they could obviously have done more with the JS. I mean, it's so puzzling how they haven't done more with Garcia, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, but it is what it is. But yeah, we shall see. I mean, it seems inevitable that they're going to be together. Or Jericho is going to be joining the dark side of Don Callis. So we'll see. But sticking to Don Callis, Renee Paquette caught up to him backstage. And Callis brought to attention that, you know, in the main event, the main event segment, they were going to unveil the 5th members for the BCC and the Elite for Blood and Guts next week. And how he was going to be out there alone to make the announcement who's going to be the 5th member. And was asked about Kenny Omega, and he said he's not afraid of Kenny Omega, saying he'll just hide behind the Young Bucks. So, pretty much there. And Renee said, good luck. MJF and Adam Cole. I tell you, these segments, funny, goofy, however you want to say, they're hilarious. So, they were asked to bond again, and that's what they did. So, last week, it was at a gym working out. This week, they were at a bar somewhere in Canada, and they took some shots, and some girls passed by, some ladies passed by, and, you know, they were all checking MJF and Cole out. Which, by the way, I believe one of them was Nicholas, the prospect from Canada, who unfortunately got squashed a couple weeks ago by Russo when Britt Baker was sick. Anywho, so MJF was like, I spotted these girls, so what do you say, two for me and 2 for you? And Adam Cole was like, well, fortunately, Max, I'm going to have to decline. And MJF's like, we can get rid of the camera. No. And then Cole's like, no, it's not like that. It's that I really care about Britt. Cole's got a good one. Anywho, so MJF is like, 4 more for daddy. So next thing we know, we see MJF locking arms with these 4 ladies, and then Adam Cole just can't help himself but laugh and chuckle. I mean, there you go. Yeah. So finally MJF is back, zipping up the zipper. So then, so MJF was asking him about the shirt. He was asking about the shirt. And at first, Adam Cole was like, I lost it. And he's like, then MJF was like, don't be BSing me. It's that. And he's like, he's not. Finally, Adam Cole was like, you know what, Max? You know, I did not lose it. In fact, I will literally wear it right now if we go and do what I want to do next. So then, Adam Cole whispers something in MJF's ear. And Adam Cole's like, or MJF's like, what the f? And then we cut to them in a room from bed, about to play AEW Fight Forever. And then MJF's like, there's no way I'm going to sit down and play video games like some idiot, virgin, whatever. And then Adam Cole, like, persuades him. He's like, well, you're in the game, and your stats are very good. And MJ's like, how good? Like, very, very good. So then they're shown playing, and then they play against FTR in the game, and they end up winning the tag team titles. Obviously that's not gonna happen, but you know. So anyway, Adam Cole was like, "You never played with a multiplayer game before?" And MJF's like, well, you need friends for that. And they have a heart to heart. They pause the game. And they're like, you know what, Max? You know, at first, I was totally going to blindside you. But obviously things have changed. And MJF snickers like, I was going to do that to you as well, man. You know, but once we hit that double clothesline, things are going to work. And just as they're both wearing their shirts, I mean, hilarious. I mean, to me, we'll see. I mean, the finals are going to take place of the tournament on July 29th, Collision. So we'll see about that. But yeah, so I mean, feels like they're gonna hit the double clothesline, and MJF's gonna turn on Adam Cole. It's gonna be interesting though, because we have that big 2 out of 3 falls match, tag team match for the tag team titles between Bullet Club Gold and FTR on Saturday. So I think the outcome. Well, we know MJF and Adam Cole are not going to win the tournament. I mean, they did beat who I wanted to see win the tournament, honestly. But, you know, the split's obviously going to happen on the 29th, and or some hiccups going to happen. And it's going to be a joy, I'd say. So, next, Upperoo. So that led to the first of the tag team matches of the Blind Eliminator Tournament. So it was Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Now, obviously this match was more unpredictable than the other one. But yeah, this was a very good match between, we know these four studs, and we know how they're trying to slowly and organically get Sammy Guevara to a babyface. And we're seeing how it goes, and we saw at the end of the match, so we'll see. But match solid. So for a while, obviously, Allin was taking the beatdown, and then in came Orange Cassidy. Garcia rolled up before the tag, rolled up Allin for a crucifix for a near fall. Then Orange Cassidy ran roughshot. He hit beach break on Sammy, taking him out for a bit. Him and Garcia actually exchanged cradles and crucifixes for a good minute or so, back and forth. Finally, so Garcia and Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy, I should say, were on the outside, and all of a sudden we see Prince Nana of the Mogul Embassy, and it's like, okay, something's gonna happen. So he told, because Darby Allin's skateboard was there, and then obviously Swerve has a match with, the prospect training with Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, later in the show. So, wondering about the interference, or how it's going to come about. So, it looked like Garcia was about to well Orange Cassidy with the skateboard. Alas, did not happen, as Darby Allin took his skateboard and alas, it was an interference by Swerve, who then landed a punt kick to basically a hit and run to Darby Allin, hitting a punt kick which knocked down Darby Allin. Guevara was oblivious to it. He hit a GTH on Darby Allin. 1, 2, 3, and Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara advanced to the finals of the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. The premise, obviously, of the tournament, I was obviously not a fan of. But considering what little storylines it seems to be playing off of, I enjoy that part. because, you got Morgan MC and Darby on, MJF and Adam Cole, got your little bits in this tournament. So for that, I can appreciate. Then we got a little backstage or a little vignette of Nick Wayne at his home. So first we got, Darby Allin talking about Nick Wayne. And here we got Nick Wayne, carry himself well in this promo. He talked about the news, talked about the ring they train with in the back in their garage with Darby and the other guys he trains with. But he talked about his dad and when his mom gave him the news that his dad had passed away. In the ring and how it was hard. So they're giving a bit of story with Nick Wayne, which you like. To get him and to know him a bit more before his debut later. That you can appreciate. And good to see. So that then prelude. So Adam Cole. He was on the phone trying to get in touch with Max. Right before their tag team tournament match against Big Bill and Brian Cage. But Renee's backstage and Roderick Strong, he was, talked to Adam Cole and, you're not seriously starting to like this guy. And Cole was like, I know what I'm doing. And he talked about a text, from MJF said he just saw Brian Cage got ill. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this match. So then Adam Cole called him. It was like, you're not ill, Matt. You're going to wrestle. And he walked off. And Roddy, you can tell, was agitated. And this was not the only time. So, yeah. So that bled into the match. MJF and Adam Cole versus Big Bill and Brian Cage. This obviously was filled with, theatrics, entertainment. I mean, this was a silly but fun match. So, obviously, I obviously wanted Big Bill and Brian Cage just because, I love Big Bill. He's great. Obviously, deserves more in AEW. We'll obviously see. Think I saw that he and Lee Moriarty have their eyes on the Ring of Honor tag team titles. So that's something to keep an eye for. But yeah, so Power both, trying to outdo one another was MJF and Adam Cole. Adam Cole was doing some push-ups. They were building out the body slam, and MJF got a body slam on Big Bill. But eventually they chopped the Giants down. They took out Bill on the outside, and ultimately Cole won with a boom to the back head on Brian Cage for the win. And MJF and Adam Cole advanced to the finals of the the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. Afterwards, so MJF was like, well, if, we could use that double clothesline, just saying, but Adam Cole was like, as long as we're a functioning unit and on the same page, then they will win the tournament and they will be the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. And they're like, why? And then they actually said it, as they said, because they're better than you. Bay Bay, the slogan that was on the shirt that Adam Cole wore. Hilarious. So yeah. I mean, obviously I don't see them winning against Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Sure, something's gonna be involved, They're probably gonna hit the double clothesline, but some form or fashion, MJF is gonna turn his back on Adam Cole, and this friendship, I think, is gonna be over. I'm curious to see how the decision of Friday or Saturday's 2 out of 3 Falls match may or may not factor into the decision on Collision on 29. But, we shall see. But yeah, it would... Sammy Guevara and Garcia first. I'm already picturing it now. So Guevara and Sammy, or Garcia and Guevara versus Bullet Club Gold or versus FTR. We'll see, but either way, they're at least prolonging this storyline, so that way we probably get another match between the two, and we get it for All In. So that will, if we get that, then that should be a plus, certainly. And we can tell Roderick Strong was again showed looking at the monitor, and he was pissed, very pissed. And he's obviously going to get involved some form or fashion, whether it's in the turn or at the match at All Out or All In. We shall see. But it has me intrigued. We'll say that. Jake Hager He was being interviewed by Renee Paquette briefly outside of Chris Jericho's dressing room. Was asked about the antics of last week and this week between Don Callis and Chris Jericho. Hager just blatantly went to Jericho's office and asked about it, saying, "You're not really thinking about this." And Jericho's like, "I don't know, maybe. It's been a good ride. But, talk about bad news Allin. Promise to him. And then the sacred thing. Jake Hager took off his hat. That hat that he loves. Talk about their history. How Hager saved them, 10 years ago in Abu Dhabi. He left behind his MMA career to come to AEW because Jericho asked him to. It's a really weird situation again as far as JS because, again, they could have done more, but sadly they did. Ruby Soho versus Skye Blue. Semifinals in the Owen Hart Cup for the women. This was a decent match here. And but I can tell some folks really enjoyed Skye Blue in this match. I can tell just based on stuff on social media. And, Skye Blue keeps impressing. I will say she's getting better in the ring. And that's the thing with always young talent on the roster. Do they improve? Can they get better? And for a women's roster that feels like it's lacking star power a bit. With Jamie Hayter injured, Sheeta, she's been off and on. It's and with Britt losing last week, but Skye Blue is certainly a fan favorite for the fans, and but as far as the decision, I went into this tournament saying that Willow was my pick to win this tournament, win the whole thing. And I believe she will beat. Because since Ruby won, I didn't think Athena was going to beat Willow in the first place. But now that Ruby beat Skye Blue, it's pretty much all but sealed that Will is going to beat Athena, and then on Collision, we'll get Willow versus Ruby Soho in the finals, rekindling that little feud between Willow and the Outcasts. And I see Willow getting the victory but at the same time, Ruby in the finals for the second straight year, and it would be a bit of a weird dynamic, I'd say, or a unique dynamic, because you got Toni Storm, the AEW World Women's Champion, and then you got Ruby Soho winning the Owen Hart Cup for the women. It's a thought. It's certainly out there. But yeah, um, you know, I like this match. Thought it was decent. So, so point of this match was the knee of Sky Blue. So, anyway, so Skye was hobbling, but she had neck breaker for near fall. Ruby actually shoved Sky Blue's knee in the steel steps at one point. She walked her in a half crab, but Skye managed to get to ropes. Skye was on the top rope, but fell to the middle rope, and Ruby actually managed to no future to her off the middle rope and got the victory there for Ruby Soho going back to the finals. But yeah, Sky Blue is gaining traction, and we can see why. That's all I'm going to say. What a damn lucky dude is Kyle Fletcher. What a damn lucky dude. That's all I'm going to say. We go from a highlight to a not so highlight. So, Harley Cameron, she basically released her like little rap video, talking about you know, Declaimed, QTV, Johnny TV, QT Marshall. I mean, she didn't do bad. It's just, why should we care? Is honestly, I mean, the Acclaimed are just, the way the tag team division has really been in flux as of late. I mean, we can go over again and again. The Acclaimed only lost the titles to the Guns just to put them back on FTR. Instead, FTR could go on the road back to the titles and were basically got the titles back pretty much as soon as they returned. So it didn't give more time for the Acclaimed. It didn't give really much time for the Guns. So, I mean, and well, at least for the Guns, they're a part of Bullet Club Gold now, but the Acclaimed not really doing much, and that sucks. So then we got Swerve Strickland versus Nick Wayne. Now, I'll be honest, since the first match I've legitimately watched through and through of Nick Wayne. I mean, I've obviously seen clips, heard about him, prospect. He just turned 18, and he's got hype around him, and certainly got a skill set, and dude is talented. He showed that certainly in his match. Now, it would have obviously been a feel-good moment for him to win, but at the same time, he's only 18. You know, he obviously has room to grow, but this is good. Him showing his stuff in the debut match, but not being Swerve. I mean, this is good. So, Wayne actually had a nice fisherman suplex in this with a ridge. He It looked like Swerve was gonna do a Death Valley driver to Wayne off on the apron, but Wayne countered, hit Hurricanrana, which took Swerve to the outside. Swerve followed up. He caught Wayne off the top and hit a torture like backbreaker on Wayne for a near fall. So they were up top. Darby came out for words of encouragement, trying to cheer on prospect of Wayne. And obviously, Swerve got distracted for a bit, and Wayne hit a poison Rana to Swerve off the top, and I was worried that he legitimately fell straight first on his head. I mean, yeah, I was very worried, but luckily it was okay after that. Then he hit Wayne's World, which is, depends who you are, Cody Cutter or an Ox Cutter. Nonetheless, it was a springboard cutter for a near fall. So, Swerve, so it looked like Wayne was going for something up top, but Swerve countered, hit a powerbomb to Wayne off the top. They hit the last call, which is his big punt kick to the side of the head, but only for 2. And then he hit a kick which snapped Wayne's shoulder. It looked to be kayfabe, but nonetheless. And then he hit the JML driver, looking on to Darby on the stage. 1, 2, 3, and Swerve beats Nick Wayne. Still a good showing in his first match, but Swerve got the dub. Good exposure though, and good for Wayne to get his first match under his belt. So yeah, we'll see. That's funny that this was the main event match, though. So good, good. But as I was getting to earlier, we see some of the spots, and so anyways, yesterday a report came out that a new health and safety policy was put out for AEW. And looking up and down of banned spots and moves, I certainly understand that. I certainly get it. I mean, spots in the apron, spots in the crowd, with blood and taking drinks and stuff from fans. Stuff on the apron, falls and stuff, chair shots to the head, I believe that was, are unprotected. I mean, obviously righteous, because we see a lot of spots on the apron and stuff, and, people always say that's the hardest part of the ring. And you don't want stuff to get repetitive. So, again, it doesn't mean the end of these spots, but it'll certainly make these spots feel more special when we see them, because we see a lot of stuff, I mean, top rope, more chair shots, more weapon spots, I mean, yeah. But I certainly understand the role and certainly get it. So Don Callis, he went out there, about to announce a fifth member of their team, the Elite, talking trash on Kenny Omega, and then Kenny Omega trots out to the ring, but he is blindsided, a setup, as he was blindsided by PAC, the bastard PAC, who was revealed as the fifth member of the Blackpool Combat Club's team in Blood and Guts for next week. And interesting choice, I'd say. Certainly interesting. It was certainly a wonder, member from Japan, member from the Dark Order. I mean, it was certainly up in the air who would be the fifth guy for their team, but I'd say it was a good choice, because at first it was like, huh? But then you realize, okay, well, the history he has with Kenny and the Elite, I mean, totally makes sense. So anyways, they had Kenny's head wedged between a chair and was about to stomp on a chair, and then they bring a mic to Kenny's mouth saying, "Where's your backup? Where's your fifth guy?" And he's like, Kenny's snickering, and he's like, "Yeah, we got someone. We certainly got someone." Lights go out, and there's a video package plays on the Jumbotron. And then we see Kota Ibushi, Omega's former tag team partner in Japan. The Golden Lovers / Golden Elite are reunited for at least one night, as Ibushi will join the fight with Hangman Adam Page, the Young Bucks, and Omega against BCC. The Elite Cleanhouse, and Hangman said, one way or another at the end, this will end, and we'll finish this once and for all. Kenny took the mic and said, after we take your guys down one by one, I'm coming after you, Don, and you will not win this battle. And then last, he closed with, I bid you adieu, good night, and goodbye. Bang. As Dynamite goes off the air, and there you go. PAC and Ibushi. One predictable, the other not so much. I mean, a predictable surprise, but still a surprise. Or so predictable. Anywho, Ibushi and AEW. Ibushi, obviously a little disappointed that he was on the show tonight, or last night. But alas, we'll see him next week. So keep that in mind. But yeah, should be fun. Blood and Guts next. Hope they give it the appropriate amount of time that it deserves. I mean, hopefully it's about an hour. I mean, look, the only question is how much are they going to build with it? It's like possibly 3 matches in the first hour, and then second hour give it all to Blood and Guts. I mean, we shall see. I mean, the only downer is obviously we won't see Bryan in the ring with Ibushi, but last we got PAC back. PAC in the ring with Ibushi, with Kenny, with the Bucks, etc. It will be fun. So, yeah, but anyways, guys, that's the review for you guys. Guys, know the gist. If you like this video, leave a like, thumbs up. If you want to help out the video and myself, that would certainly be beneficial and would help out the video and help out me and channel keep on growing. So get those thumbs up in if we can, and yeah. But alas, Dynamite was good, and we'll see you guys Sunday for your Collision review. As it will happen on Saturday night, so look out for that. But anyways, guys, see you on Sunday. But take care, guys. Be safe. Peace.